The case of the snoring Stegosaurus. Wow. Stegosaurus is a dinosaur, so I'm sure that's what this story's about. Attention, all detectives. Yes, you can be a detective too. Right along with Miss Whimsy's and the Fantastic 15. Just pay close attention to the story and the pictures in the book. There are clues hidden there, and the Fantastic 15 will be looking for them. See if you can discover them first. Our teacher, Miss Whimsy, calls us the Fantastic 15, and for good reason. Miss Whimsy taught us to peek, poke, and prove. That's right, she solves mysteries. Miss Whimsy is a great detective. Now we're great detectives too. That is a good thing because wherever we go, mysteries seem to follow. This is Miss Whimsy's third grade class, the Fantastic 15. For 2 weeks, we built paper dinosaurs. Study your models, said Miss Whimsy. Today, we're going to the museum. Knowing your dinosaurs may help you peek, poke, and prove, she added. Dee's Apatosaurus looked funny. Tom's Stegosaurus looked sharp. Katie's pterodactyl looked like it could fly. Luke's dinosaur was the biggest. He's an Ultrasaurus, Luke boasted. Ultra means more than usual. See them all? They're painting them. When we got to the museum, Miss Lai met us in the front hall. A guard and his dog were there too. Miss Lai is a paleontologist, exclaimed Miss Whimsy. She studies fossils. Nice to see you, said Mrs. Lai with a nervous smile. Meet Zip, our guard dog, and his trainer Stan. They'll join us. And it says, welcome to the Museum of Natural History. And it says the exhibits all of gems and animals and dinosaurs and mammals. Who is the dog? What's the dog's name? Zip. And this is Stan and Mrs. Lai and Miss Whimsy and the Fantastic 15. Wow, that's pretty good. Why? He asked. I might as well tell you, Mrs. Lai said. Something strange is happening at the museum. It's been going on for the last week, and frankly, we're worried. What's wrong? Said Miss Whimsy. We stepped closer. We knew the mystery was unfolding. Miss Lai began. I still can't believe it. We watched, we waited. Then she whispered, Stegosaurus snores. Every afternoon at 4 o'clock. Woof, said Zip. And no one knows how or why, added Stan. Look at him. There's Zip. And there is Miss Whimsy and Mrs. Lai. And they're telling all about the Stegosaurus snoring. That must be a loud noise. Strange, startling, said Miss Whimsy. Surely a case for the Fantastic 15. Mrs. Lai nodded her head, happy for our help. What do you think, class? Shall we peek? Asked Miss Whimsy. Maybe we peek at the dinosaur, Miss Lai. asked Katie. Follow me, answered Mrs. Lye. Zip's toenails clickety-clacked on the smooth marble floor. This is in the Hall of Gems. And look, they're following Zip. This is the tarantula room. Some species of tarantulas can jump 6 feet. Their bite is painful, but not dangerous. Tarantulas need water, but they can live several months without food. Tarantula feeding 10:30, 11:30, and 1:30. And these are also the marine animals. Over here on this page. See the big whale? And look, there's the tarantula. Wow, what do you think? All right, class, poke, exclaimed Miss Whimsy. We started to look for clues. Just inside the hall, we found a Stegosaurus. In fact, we found 2. There was a Stegosaurus model, and there was a Stegosaurus skeleton. There was even 3 Stegosaurus eggs. Maybe you could say we saw 5 Stegosauruses. Okay, so there's a Stegosaurus, and that is a roof lizard. Look at him, there he is. There's his bones. And there's the eggs. And look at this one up here. What is that one? That's a pterodactyl. It's a flying bird. One of the first birds. Beside the model stood a man with a big smile. On his back, he wore a little vacuum cleaner. He held a black feather duster. Mr. Chloris cleaned Stegosaurus and all the other dinosaurs here, said Mrs. Lye, introducing us. Since I started a week ago, it's been dust, 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 said Mr. Chloris. Dust flies in here all day. I use my feather duster on the skeletons, then I vacuum the models. When I'm done late in the afternoon, I'm pooped. Just pooped. Woof, said Zip. Look at him, he is vacuuming all over the place. Do you help your mother's vacuum or your father's vacuum? When did you first hear the Stegosaurus snore? Asked Luke. That's the funny part, said Mr. Chloris. I've never heard it snore, but I'm the only one who hasn't. Zip and I make rounds 4 times a day, said Stan. We look. Zip sniffs. Nothing. We've never found anything. He shook his head sadly. Oh, look. And there he is. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Sniff, sniff, sniff. We listened. We poked. We talked. We joked. The name Tyrannosaurus Rex means kings of the tyrant lizards. Yikes! Grrr. Look at them. They're all in the huddle talking. Wonder what they decided. Aha! Thunk, thunk. What do you suppose? She's knocking on the big dinosaur, and she sees something. What do you think she sees? That Stegosaurus is huge. When Miss Whimsy clapped her hands, we all hurried back to her. "We've done it," yelled Katie. "We've cracked the case of the snoring Stegosaurus." "Prove it," said Miss Whimsy, glowing. "Dinosaurs lived millions of years ago," said Dee. "The skeleton is made of bones. That turns to stone or fossils. And this model is made of glass," adding Tom. "Stones and glass can't snore." Look, they've got their ideas of what they've come up with. "That's what I used to think," said Mrs. Lai. "There's more," said Dee. "Zip sniffs out strangers. He never finds one because the snorer isn't a stranger. And there is only one museum person who has never heard the snoring, namely Mr. Cloris. Mr. Cloris started working a week ago, exactly when your problem began," said Tom. "And he's really tired when he finishes in the afternoon, just about the time the snoring starts." Look at that. Is that him asleep on the other side of the dinosaur? Let's see. "Your Stegosaurus doesn't snore. Mr. Cloris does," we all said together. "Of course, he didn't mean any harm," Miss Whimsy added quickly. "He just needs a rest. He never even knew he snored." Mrs. Lai wasn't angry. She was happy to know that the Stegosaurus couldn't snore after all. "Thank you for solving the case of the snoring Stegosaurus," said Mrs. Lai gratefully. Look at them, they're looking all over. And look, there is Mr. Cloris's feet and his tools that he cleans everything up with. That was a funny story. Then early the next day, she gave Mr. Cloris a new job, one where he would be sure never to fall asleep. Oh, he has to take care of Homer, the tarantula. I guess he won't fall asleep. That's terrible to be that tired. You gotta snore. Grandpa snores.